dad is bigger than your dad.
No, he's not. My dad is much bigger than your dad.
My dad is stronger than your dad.
No, my dad is way stronger than your dad.
My dad works hard to provide for us.
My dad works much harder. And anyway, my dad reads me stories.
My dad plays football with me.
My dad plays games with me. And he mends my broken toys.
My dad, he takes me to special places.
My dad takes me to special places too.
My dad tells me about God.
My dad tells me about God. Dads are good, aren't they? Hi everyone. See if you can spot if the dad in our Bible story is a good dad. There was a man named Jairus who had a daughter. She was 12. Jairus did all the dad things. He was a kind and loving father. One day, the little girl didn't feel very well. She had a headache and felt dizzy. Jairus made her some medicine and her mother looked after her. Every day, the little girl got a little bit worse. Jairus sat beside her bed and worried. Then he had an idea. He'd heard about Jesus, who said that God was everyone's father. Jesus often prayed for people and healed them. I know, perhaps Jesus could make my daughter better, thought Jairus, and immediately he set off to find Jesus. He found him surrounded by a crowd. Jesus, help me, Jesus, my daughter is dying, Jairus shouted as loud as he could, and the crowd parted to let him through. She's only 12, he explained, and she's so ill, but I know I can count on you to make her well. Please. Jesus nodded. Show me the way, he said. But the minute they started off on their journey, one of Jairus' servants appeared and said, Master, I have most awful news. Jairus knew it even before the servant spoke. Your daughter is dead. Jesus turned to the sad father. It will be all right, he said. Trust me. And then they hurried off to Jairus' house. When they arrived, there was another crowd, wailing and weeping in front of the house. The sad news had spread fast. Listen, everybody, said Jesus. There's no need to cry. The girl is not dead. She's only sleeping. Sad tears gave way to angry laughter. Don't be ridiculous, someone shouted. We've seen her. She's dead. Jesus ignored them all. He asked the girl's mother and father and 3 of his friends, Peter, James, and John, to come with him. Together they walked straight to where the girl was lying. She certainly looked dead. Her eyes were closed. Her face was pale. Her skin was cold, but that didn't stop Jesus. He took her cold hand in his and called, little girl, it's time to get up. Her skin grew warm. Her face flushed pink, and her eyelids flickered and flew open. She was alive. And the first thing she said was, I'm hungry. Then we better get you something to eat, said Jesus. And that was the best meal that family had ever had. So, was Jivers a good dad? Yes, he was, wasn't he? Now, why did I tell this story today of all days, I wonder? What do you think? Yes, it's because it's Father's Day, isn't it? That's right. Fathers care for their children, but fathers can't do everything. God is the Father who loves and looks after us all, and God can do everything for us. When I was a child, when I was 4 years old, my dad became very ill and he died. And I remember when I was about 5 or 6 and I was at Sunday school and I was feeling very sad because my dad had died. And my Sunday school teacher called me to one side and talked to me and told me that although I had lost my earthly father, and he wasn't with me anymore, I had a heavenly Father, God, who loved me and was always with me. And from that moment on, I used to sit on my bed and talk to God. I tell him about my day. I tell him about all the good things and the not so good things. And I'd ask him to help me or to help others. And that's something I still do today. So on Father's Day, I thank God for my dad. I've got lots of things that remind me of him, and I know he's given me my love of puppets and drama, amongst other things. And so I thank God for him. But I also thank my Heavenly Father for loving me and caring for me and being with me all this time. And I tell him that I love him. So this Father's Day, why don't you thank your dad and tell him that you love him? But don't forget to thank God for being your Heavenly Father and for loving you, and tell him that you love him. Well, I'll see you all next time. Bye.